Hello and welcome to Perception Media. I am your hostess, the Cinegeek, and today I would like to talk about Big, the 1988 movie starring Tom Hanks, directed by Patty Marshall, and it was written partially by Annie Spielberg, who is the sister of Steven Spielberg. Big's a cool movie. I think it's a 80s classic. So we have this character, Josh, and he's your typical 12-year-old boy. He has a bestie, and he's got a crush on an older girl, but he's a little bit small for his age, and he is unable to ride this roller coaster, and he's really embarrassed at the carnival, and his parents are kind of bothering him. And we have this very relatable story of a 12-year-old boy who wants to just grow up in kind of a hurry. And so he comes across this machine called a Zoltar, and basically you put a quarter in it, and then you make a wish, and he gives you what is essentially the little paper from a fortune cookie. And Josh wishes to be big, and the Zoltar grants his wish, and then the story kind of turns into a cautionary tale of be careful what you wish for, because when Josh wakes up the next day, as I said, he's now in the body of a 30-year-old man, this man, of course, being Tom Hanks. And if you watch this movie from the point of view of the mother, it is a straight-up horror movie. She basically gets the scare of her life when there's an intruder in her home. She finds her 12-year-old son is missing. She assumes he's abducted by this 30-year-old man, and then she starts getting phone calls and letters from, Josh as Tom Hanks now. Basically, she's thinking this is from the kidnapper and that her son's in trouble, and he's gone for, I want to say, nearly a month. It must be just the most terrifying thing from this poor woman. Meanwhile, Josh has gone to the city in New York, and he's getting the help of his bestie, Billy, who's resourceful AF, to be honest. And Billy helps him apply to different jobs, and he ends up getting hired by I think it was Macmillan Toy Company, and he rises through the ranks pretty quickly. He starts off as a toy tester, and then he becomes a toy developer, and he kind of changes the direction of the company and the lines that they're producing, but I'll get more on that later. And he ends up going to FAO Schwartz, which is a real toy store in New York. I think it's on 5th Avenue. You've probably seen it in Home Alone 2. It's a very famous store, and it's kind of cool looking. So anyway, he impresses his boss, Mr. Macmillan, by playing Heart and Soul and Chopsticks on the piano with him, which is probably one of the most famous scenes in cinema, honestly. I think kind of everyone knows that scene. And he essentially upsets the work dynamic at the office. And we kind of see Josh go from this, kid who wants to grow up, and then a man, Shazam. He's Shazam. And, this first night in New York, he's, crying because he misses his mom and he just wants to go home. And then he's kind of becoming more and more of an adult, although he does seem like an adult with Peter Pan syndrome. We do see him, grow quite a lot. And we see him being kind of, I would say, corrupted by the corporate life, sort of. Not to an extreme extent. This isn't the never-ending story, but, he does start to grow up and become kind of a jerk. And he starts to forget what it's like to be a kid. I wonder if the Zoltar also created Jumanji. Think about it. Anyway, so he gets in this weird relationship with his coworker Susan, who's in a weird relationship with their coworker Paul, and it becomes kind of like a love triangle, and nothing good comes from triangles. Anyway, so at this company presentation where he is supposed to be showing this new line of toys he's created, he realizes that he really does need to go back to being a child. And so he goes to this boardwalk where the Zoltar is being held, and he makes another wish to be a kid again, and so he can return to his 12-year-old self. And he's explained all this to Susan, who drives him home to his poor, traumatized mother. And it ends with them waving goodbye to each other, Susan and Josh waving goodbye to one another. And lucky for her, she is not arrested for kidnapping or having performed inappropriate acts with a minor. This movie got awkward fast. Shazam!